Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap Session for Wednesday, February the 1st, 2017. First trading day of the month. It is also FOMC statement. It is a Fed day. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. We create multiple hypotheses in order to have a plan in place so that when the market shows us what it is going to do, we have a plan that will adapt to it and we can execute on that plan. Nobody can tell you what the market will do. We can only have a plan in place so that we don't have to formulate that plan on the fly. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so taking a look at yesterday. Yesterday, our main hypothesis was a open auction in range, a move down, to the 65 area, possibly 63, and then finding responsive buyers and rotating us back up. I'm sorry, that was our secondary hypothesis. Our main hypothesis was a move up, a failure, and then a move down to take out the 67 and come down and test the range low. That was hypo 1. Hypo 2 was the move down and then the rotation up. So we got a bit of both the hypo 1 and hypo 2 from yesterday. We did come up into the upper distribution and close the gap just prior to the close. We still have the gap up above us, which is up here between the 87 and the high from the prior day, 81 and a quarter. Overnight inventory is net long, so there's a few things we can talk about based on that. But before we do, let's just step back, take a look at the news first, since we did have non-farm payroll at 8:15 Eastern Time, came out way better than expected, 246 versus 165. 9:30, we've got RBC manufacturing PMI out of Canada. 9:45, we've got final manufacturing PMI out of the U.S. The bigger news will be at 10 o'clock. ISM manufacturing PMI, construction spending, and manufacturing prices. And then we've got crude oil at 10:30. We've got total vehicle sales coming out all day. And then, of course, the big news will be at 2 o'clock with the FOMC statement and the federal funds rate. So lots of news today, and it's the first day of the month. So be very careful. Be selective with your bullets and don't get in a bad position or be in a position that you're not in profit when this news comes out. Of course, on top of all of that, we've got Trump and his executive orders and him executing on his first 100-day plan. Let's take a look at the macro to micro. I always like to start my day with a simple candlestick chart. Monthly moving, starting with the monthly, I use a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. What I'm doing is I'm looking for strength of the trend on the different time frames through slope and separation where things are being challenged or violated. Beautiful multi-year trend, challenged into 15, beginning of 16, taken back, and we have continuation in slope and separation. We don't even begin to challenge the trend on the monthly until we get down into the 2196 area. Going to the weekly, we so far are trading inside of last week, but we're holding above the 9 EMA. We do have slope and separation. The trend doesn't get challenged until we get down into the 22 58 area. Going to the weekly, sort of the daily. We do have this island top. It doesn't look like an island top on the full session. It is on the RTH session. We gapped down, challenged the trend to the downside, but the buyer stepped in on both days, and now inventory overnight is net 100% net positive, and we've got above the 9 and the 20 so far, so we could get a continuation and a move up into the gap zone. Going to the intraday, you can see that we were trending down. We started challenging the trend yesterday in the RTH. They continued above, and now we're in the Globex. Now we're back above the 9 and the 20, so we're looking for a MA squeeze, hug, whatever you want to call it, and possible start of an upward trend. We have a naked cross up here at the 88.75. Now you want to pay attention to that as we hold and get above the 9 and the 20. We want to start targeting this 88.75, and the microcomposite VPOC for that island top is up there as well. I believe it's 89. We'll take a look at it in a minute. Going to the 1 hour, you can see that we are starting to trend up. We got good slope, good separation. We did leave a naked cross down here at 22.70.32. So if we get below that 70, I'm looking at the 73, 74 area, but there is a target to the downside. Remember, this is on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. That doesn't necessarily mean they have to be challenged today, but it's something to note and write in your journal so you have them marked. Going to the 30-minute, you can see that, nice strong trend up. Got good slope, got good separation. The trend has been up all night on the ES. And again, there's a naked cross left down here at the 68.75 area, but it's not something to be concerned with today yet. 15-minute, we've kind of been chopping around, but we're back above the 9 and the 20. We're starting to get slope and separation. So, the trend is up on the 15-minute as well, and same thing on the 5-minute. So, all in all, we've got, an upward skew coming into the RTH session on pretty much every time frame. So, let's take a look at the structure itself. So we were in this balance area, created a very strong kurtosis right here around the microcomposite VPOC at 64.75. We had a breakout day, then they had the gap and go, and then we had a 3-day island top, and we gapped down on Monday, came down, tested the microcomposite VPOC, and then bounced. Yesterday we opened up lower, tested it again, and then we closed near the highs. We had a neutral extreme day, so the probability of a neutral extreme day is get continuation overnight. And remember, we had that zipper measured move with the primary target being up there at the 84. And currently right now we're trading 81. This is a thin area right here, so we could get caught chopping around. Remember, I talked about the fact that both hypo 1 and hypo 2 from yesterday was the probability of getting stuck in this wick. We just didn't know which direction would be first. And you can see that, for the majority of the day, except for dipping below it, we spent the whole day inside of this wick. And this is a phenomenon that you want to pay attention to on the daily as possibilities, especially when we get back down here. We're likely to get stuck in the wicks down here, okay, again, when we get back down here. But right now, we're going to get a gap up If we hold above the high from yesterday of 76.50, we're going to get a gap up, and I'd be looking for them to make a move towards the 84 and a quarter, and a move up into the range low for the 3-day. And the CLVN above 84 and a quarter, I'm looking for a move up to close the gap, and a move towards the microcomposite 3-day VPOC of the island top up there at 89. Failure to get above the 84 and a rotation down below the 76 level, then I'm looking for continued weakness and a move back down into the 64. 73 to me, 73, 74 is our support level that we need to hold, basically this CLVN. And if we get below it, then I think the island top could be in for the time being, and we'll get a bigger move down. We'll have to advertise price lower to see if where we can pick up those buyers again. But so far, the buyers have been stepping in and buying the dip, and when we come back down into balance and back into price acceptance around that 64.75. So, taking a look at the overnight, we still have 35 minutes to go, and we're trading near the overnight high, but we'll put it in anyway, 82. Our overnight low is 74.75. Our VPOC is not likely to shift. It's at 79.75. There's an LVN right here at the midpoint at 78. 78.50. I'm not going to use the 78.50. I'm going to use the range high at the 76.50. And then we have the LVN at 71.50. Not the LVN, the value area high from yesterday at the 71. But I'm going to move this up to the LVN here at 73 because I'm really watching the 73 for a move down into testing the value area and a push down. I'm going to be targeting the 69.50. Sorry, 70. And below that, a push through to the 67 and 64. And of course, the value area low here. Our daily ATR is running at 15.56. That's the full session, 20-period daily ATR. So off of the overnight high of 82, our downside daily ATR target is 66.50. And off of the overnight low of 74.75, our upside ATR target is 90.25. We have that 84 level that I want to be paying attention to. Don't need this anymore. 84 and a quarter. And targeting the 89. There's the LVN at 91 and a quarter. And 96 and the unequalized high up there at 99.50. Okay, so we are going to get an open auction out of range. So the first thing we have to pay attention to is the oh, come on, is the fact that on the Monday the 81 and a quarter. I'm going to use that as well. So basically, I'm looking for an open auction out of range. I have to be prepared for an open drive or an open test drive, especially because of the fact that we've got Fed today. I think we're going to make the move early. I think the move is going to be fairly strong, and then I think we're going to drift sideways until the FOMC statement, although we do have some news that can move us at 10 o'clock and at 10:30. But my main hypothesis is an open auction out of range, either an open test drive being a move down towards the 76.50 and taking out the overnight high, and I'm looking for initiative buyers to step in and push us up into the 84 and a quarter, chop around here, and then push up through the 89. And I'm expecting the probability that we'll go into the Fed up here in the island and closing the gap and just basically chopping from here. And then based on the news, either a breakdown back towards the range down here and back towards the 67, or a push through into equalizing the 96.50, 99. I know it's kind of a lot to consider because of the fact that there's really two parts to it. The morning push in one direction or the other, which is my hypo 1, which is to the upside. So hypo 1, open test drive, move down, find initiative buyers, move up through to the 84, chop around there, and then push up into the 89 and chop into news, and then based on the news, make a impulse move either to the downside or the upside, depending on what the market is calling for. And that impulse move is going to be targeting the 67 to the downside and equalization of the all-time highs and a test of the 23 on the upside. Hypo 2 is a open drive and a push up into the 89 area, and then basically go sideways and chop, and waiting for the news, and then based on the news, either direction. Hypo 3 is an open auction out of range, a push down into the range high from yesterday, chop around here, take out the overnight low, come down and go into the news, chopping around in the value area, and then based on news, either making a move up or down. And then my hypo 4 is that we just chop around outside of range as we fill in the gap zone and go sideways without making any major move into the news. It's really hard to create hypotheses on days like this, so you just have to have your levels and a plan of action on where you want to be short, where you want to be long. And basically in this case, I want to be looking for longs above the 73 area and looking for shorts below the 73 area, based on the overall movement. Gold made a nice move off of the news. I did trade it, and we're basically chopping around between the 15 and the 1200. We're fighting this CLVN at the 830 area. So basically below the 830, you want to be short into the 380, 1204 area. If we get back above the 830, you want to be long into the 13 area, but ultimately back up into the 15.9. The next big resistance is going to come up here at the 23 area. Anything above that, we're looking for price discovery to continue to the upside. But I doubt we're going to get away from the composite VPOC. This is the most traded price going back to October 2008, and we're just coming up and testing it from below and chopping around it and fighting that 1200 level. Below 1200, then I think the sellers get more aggressive, and I'd be looking for a push down into the 93, chopping in this area down here, and then ultimately coming down towards the 77. And I think the next leg down, if it happens, is going to take us much deeper and back towards the 1150 area. So that's what I'm looking at this morning in gold and in ES. Remember, Fed Day, be careful, going to be bumpy, and early move and then mainly sideways after the major news of the 10 o'clock and the 10:30. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.